This is Wednesday, May the 3rd, 1990. Stan H. Tinsley speaking. I'm interviewing Mr. George A. Eddlemon, Eddlemon, 7628 Old Clinton Highway, Knoxville, Tennessee. The next voice that you hear will be that of Mr. Eddlemon.
Oh, this is December 7th when the bomb was.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'd been in there about 7 and 8, 9 months before that.
Okay, before you got in before
Yeah.
Pearl Harbor.
Yeah.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
It's, did you volunteer?
Yes, sir, I volunteered.
And what branch of service were you in?
60th Coast Artillery.
Okay. This is
Battery A, 60th Coast, and aircraft.
that's the Army, right?
Uh-huh.
Okay. It says, what do you remember about leaving home?
Well, when I left home, the papers, were full of this drafting people at the same time, and I volunteered, and so did a lot of my buddies to keep from being drafted.
That's it, right.
So then I said, well, I'll volunteer, and I'll get to go way off where there ain't going to be no war. So I said, where? They said, where do you want to go? I said, the farthest place you've got. They said, that's Philippines. I said, that's where I want to go, farthest outpost. And I thought, well, I'd be smart, 21 years old, or 20, about 20, turning 21. I thought, I'll get over now where they bypass. They bypassed all right. They hit Pearl Harbor that morning, come daylight, then see it was still dark in the Philippines when they bombed Pearl Harbor. Come daylight, here come 80 heavy bombers and blasted us. And their officer said, now you don't have to be afraid, because these barracks is bomb-proof. See, the floors are 3-foot concrete, and they was too. And I was on the 2nd platoon. We all went down the 1st platoon and laid down on the floor. But I'm telling you, we didn't get back in there no more after that bombing. We go out in their bivouac, dig a hole, foxhole, and get in.
Were the bombs coming through the...
Come all the way through, some of them went off the ground floor, and that concussion bomb, it just jerked the concrete off the walls and sand, burned it, and killed a lot of them. Destroyed them. Well, you can see the barks in there. Destroyed them. Tore up the big gun, had a big 16-inch disappearing gun, laid them to waste. They bombed us day and night.
Why did it's supposed to be bomb-proof, wonder why they came on, was it a new type bomb or something that
no, it might have been bomb-proof in 1920.
I see.
When it was built. If you remember about the history when they built it, they had the 60th Coast Artillery and they had the 59th. Well, they was forcing them to work day and night building those big concrete barracks, the longest concrete barracks in the world at that time. So they struck. The 59th Coast Artillery struck, and they mobilized the 60th down on the other about the middle of the island to go up there and put them back to work. And they had one rough time, but they got...
Never heard of that.
Yes, sir. I wish I had some more literature on it.
Was anybody else in your family in the service?
Yeah, my 2 brothers.
Okay.
And my nephews. They all volunteered. All of them did Marines with me.
What kind of training did they give you before you went overseas?
They didn't give us one bit of training we got there because they'd see it was coming.
Yeah.
And they issued us only ODs, olive drab wool clothes, and we had to wear that till we got in the tropics and not burn up before they give us khakis.
I guess so.
Yeah. And finally we got over there and they finally got issued khakis. And we took our close order drill and all that overseas. We didn't get no training over here. We got that all overseas, close order drill, manual arm, Then we got our artillery drill, searchlights.
Oh, yeah. I think you told me this, but I'll ask it again so we can be clear on it. What units were you part of?
The 60th Coast Artillery, Battery A.
Okay, and what were your duties?
My job I was a DEC control operator. That's a distant electric control. You got a metal chair like with handles on it.
Yeah.
You got binoculars up here.
Yeah.
Well, this is for visual sighting. During the daytime, you crank that, you get your binoculars on that flight of planes. When they're coming over and wherever them binoculars are, when you're on target, your guns is also hooked in by electric control, and they're on that same target.
Right.
When you start firing. The trouble that was, we just had 21-second fuse. And that just wouldn't reach up to 20 and 30,000 feet where they fly.
I see you'd go all four
They're going all four reach. And then they brought in some from Australia by sub. It would reach them. And then they finally shot down the very few of them. But they were up.
Okay, looks like we're doing all right. I guess there were people in your unit from all over the different parts of the country, weren't there?
Yeah. Yeah, we had them from all over. North, South Carolina, Virginia, Kentucky, Tennessee.
Most of them Southerners?
Most of them, yeah.
Were they?
Yeah, most of them were Southern.
Were a pretty good bunch of men, did you think?
All volunteers in our outfit.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'll say this or not, but it'd be on tape, you can erase it, but there wasn't no blacks. No blacks in our
Yeah. When I was overseas, I didn't even realize they were there till I started back home. And, there they were.
See them driving the truck.
Yeah, they were in the labor battalion doing something over there.
Yeah, mate. It bothered me talking about it.
Okay, we'll pin it down. It says, did you spend time out of the United States?
I spent.
When did you leave and when did you get back?
I left. Seemed like it's
Approximately will be okay.
well about 9 months before it started. That'd been what?
That'd been about March and December 7th.
Well, and I was there 4 years. About 4 years and 9 months. I come back home 1945, 44, 45. Let's see.
So you got out in 45, I know.
Okay, and I got out in 45. And I was there when it started, 9 months before it started. I keep getting the 9 months mixed up with the time I was out in the hills.
And of the time that you spent out of the States, you were on the Philippines, actually on Corregidor, when the Japs took it.
Yes.
How much time did you spend as prisoner of war and how much time out of escape?
I spent about, a little over 7 months as prisoner of war, and the rest of the time out in the hills, it was, seemed like 27 months in one province, and the rest of the time I was in, most of it was Cavite province. Part of it was in Batangas province. It's Province Jones. Of course, we went barefooted and no modern clothes.
Right.
We just wore adobe native gear. And
how did you get away from the Japs? How did you escape?
we had a work detail of Filipinos that went out to work on the farm. They made contact with a drill band. The drill band goes down at night, and they turned off the power in the main big power plant. And they told us that everybody wanted to escape, not to go in the Bartolina at night. When the Jap come, he come right just before dark with his abacus to count the prisoners. 10,000 in there. And when he come around to count them, he said to hide in the shrubs, and while he's counting them, well, slip up to gate number 10. Walk up gate number 10, they done killed that guard. Joe Pino standing there, sub-Thompson machine gun, said, "Don't run, but walk fast." We filed out, just 130 of us. The rest of them, afraid, they said no, they'd get shot in the back. And our theory was, we're going to die anyway.
Yeah.
He was skin and bone. Some of them old peeled leather magazines, I got shows them boys pictures, skin and bone. There's some of them in my briefcase. They're in yonder in the box.
Of those 10,000 that stayed behind roughly?
They took them out and started shooting them. They took them out and lined them up and started killing so many a day. And when they killed them, they put a tag on their toes. One of these dudes, when we got liberated, our 11th Airborne jumped in there at the Guytai Ridge. We got down there to Batangas, where they was coming in, where the 11th Airborne had done secured a little strip. Why, in the 1st Cavalry Division, General Eichelberger's out there. And one of them guys told me that he took that tag off his toe and put it on nothing. Got that tag off that done kill, put it on his toe and laid there. And then when the Japanese went to get more prisoners, well, hell, he took off through the vines. Now, that's hard to believe that, but I talked to him.
Well, you know, like they say, there's a lot of things happen in wartime that people who never served, especially have been in any rough service, have trouble believing, but it happened.
Yeah, I know it is.
Do you still keep in touch with any of the fellows that you were with over there?
I lost contact with Morton Eichner, used to be in Chicago. He didn't move. He's off a bad cripple. And I don't hear from him. He moved to California. I don't get any letters from him. I seen Moses Stipes down at the VA.
Mm-hmm.
And he looks like he's 80 years old.
Mm-hmm.
They took him all the way to Japan, beat him, made him work in the coal mines, you know.
Mm-hmm.
He had to sit on that thing, crank a fan. They beat him unroughed, they broke both hands, and they put him behind his back.
Yeah.
And then hit me with a pick handle.
What's his name?
Moses Stipes.
S-T-I-P-E-S?
Yes, sir.
Hmm. Where did you go to school?
I went to Carter's High School 1 year. I went to Mascot Grammar School. And I went through the 8th grade, went to Carter's 1 year, and then my father died. And I went to work for the company to support my brothers and sisters.
Yeah, you remember what year that was?
1938.
38. There you go.
1938. So I must have went on about 1940.
What do you remember most about your time overseas?
Well, most of the things I remember was things that a lot of people have eaten, big iguana lizards. I was afraid of them when I first seen them when they're about 4 or 5 foot long. Cut their tail off, skin it, cut that off way, and eat that. You eat a monkey, but they look like a baby when you skin them. And that's not very appetizing. We eat the water buffalo. They eat dogs, and I didn't know I was eating dogs. See, Filipino has dog markets, but they eat only black dogs, and I don't know why. But I was eating one day, and I said, "Now this is awful good. What's that?" I said, "Kind of like dumplings, you know. They take rice and make a dumpling like pasta, and that's good. Kind of juicy and meat's pretty good." Hey, baby, what's that? They said, "That's ponset." I said, "What's ponset?" The boy spoke in before I learned to dial it. He said, "That's dog." I upchucked every bit of it. I wish I hadn't asked you. Yeah, if I hadn't asked of it, I'd been all right.
So you remember most of your whole time over there what you had to eat, right?
Yeah, that's always mind dwell on something.
You're right.
In the rainy season now, we didn't have to worry about the Japanese too much, because they couldn't go. It rained 6 months in central Luzon where I was at, and it's dry 6 months. When it's dry, it's hot. When it rains, it rains. And I kind of liked it raining because I could hide, you know, and not have to work too bad. But I hit one time, I hit on a little old bamboo pad out in a irrigation dam.
Mm-hmm.
That COVID growed up, big old water lily growed up in a big green clump right in the middle where the sill made it kind of shallow. And they took bamboo and stuck in that mud and pulled that vine up, and I stayed there for over a week. I could look out and see the Japs searching around the edge of the bank. And that interpreter asked me when I finally kept it, now where was you when they called it zona? I believe they meant to say zona, but when they zoned it off, said, where was you when we had that zona? I said, we sent 400 troops in there. I said, I was looking at you.
Is that right? Were you ever under fire?
Lots of times.
Yeah, you were, weren't you? From bombs? And
they invaded from rifle fire too.
Rifle fire too?
Yeah. Very few men I've talked to in close combat.
Yeah, that's so true. Right.
You know, with bayonets and rifles fixed.
Right.
And you can't hardly shoot because you might shoot your buddies.
Yeah.
That's bad.
Did your unit take any prisoners?
No, we didn't take the prisoners.
Okay.
No. I mean out in the hills in the Philippine grill dam. We took the prisoners, but they didn't live long.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
The Filipinos hated them pretty bad. They'd rape their women, then split their guts out with the bayonet, all that stuff.
Yeah, I was over there in a different part of you. They wasn't anything good about the Japs.
Yeah.
And I was right there.
You know, I don't know what you heard, but when I go to the doctor, I go to different doctors sometimes. I had to go to Delphil. A little young doctor right down here, you know. Of course, nice. He made me point in Oak Ridge to have a CAT scan and X-ray. I said something about left eye and not like the Japs. He said, there's some good Japs. I started to you up there, didn't you? But I couldn't say that, you know.
Yeah.
To your young intellectuals, they don't remember.
No, they don't.
They say there's some good Japanese. I reckon they are.
You know, I brought a lot of stuff like this back from CBI, and I asked my son, I said, you want this stuff after I'm gone, or shall I give it to university and let them have it for the libraries or anything? He says, Dad, I don't want to hurt your feelings, but give it to them, you know. The kids, they don't care anything about what you did up there.
My son don't. They found my scrapbook one time and said, Dad, we didn't know this. I said, well, I didn't want to talk about it. So, he's down here one day to visit, had a cigar box full of ribbons, you know.
Yeah.
A whole tall salad. Can I have these? I said, have them all. I kept a few little bits, I'll show you. And conversation over the tea.
Did you all have any contact with any other formal troops other than Australians?
They sent a submarine up there. See, they was coming in, but submarine cracked wheat before Corregidor fell. That's all we had to eat.
Yeah.
See, we done run out of stuff to eat. And they was bringing cracked wheat, and we got it twice a day. And then after everything, I surrendered before they come back in. They brought some intelligence men and set them ashore and let them come around and get positions on board Japanese camp was. And they had one prison camp there that they didn't know even existed. And I told them where it was at. And they sent 11th Airborne there and liberate them boys. And then they go back to the sub, you know, and get back to Australia. Had to fight the Filipinos all, keep them from boarding that sub. They want to come too.
I bet that's a truth.
Oh yeah, you know how they are. They pile on. I reckon.
I always liked the Australians. Did you? I thought I got along well with them. I thought they were, compared to the English, they were number one.
They rough and tough.
Yeah, they're a tough bunch.
Yeah. He had that crank radio, you know. And I said, would you send a message home to me and tell them said, I'm still alive. He said, no.
No.
He said, you might get killed. He said, your mother probably already thinks you're dead. He said, then you have to go through it again.
Did you try to write letters home while you were over there?
Through the Red Cross, but they wouldn't take mine, see. But now there's a letter in there somewhere where this guy's name was Whitney J. Lorette. He was from New Orleans. He was, what do we call them people down there, Cajuns?
Mm-hmm.
And he was mean and unholy. And they beat him half to death. But he'd write letters to my mother, and he put Bud on there. That's my nickname. And that's something I couldn't get. But he said I wasn't allowed to write.
Why wouldn't they let you write?
Because I was captain in guerrilla warfare.
I see.
And I would handle rights. I separated from regular prisoners.
Right. I see.
And all I got away is when they transferred us to other prison camps. I had no rights whatsoever.
So let me get it
put me on
straight. You
reduced
weren't
rights.
taken prisoner as Corregidor fell, then, were you?
No. When the white flag went up, while Sergeant Simpson and Lieutenant Calvert, and I forget the rest of them's names, the sergeants and all, some of them went like that, some ladies that went for Kirk. But they said, well, you're on your own. And I said, what are you going to do? They said, we're going to retreat. I said, retreat? Hell, you told me there'd be no retreat. And Sergeant Black had 3 50-caliber machine guns just within a couple thousand yards from our position. And they was going up along the beach with the big high corridor, you know, like a big tax pole.
Mm-hmm.
He had his machine guns on top of that ridge, and they was going up the beach right down below him. He had hauled who go there, said Section 5. That's the section I was in, Section 5. Said, we're retreating. He said, retreat hell. Hell, he just opened up both machine guns. I never heard from him. I believe he's yelling.
Is that
He'd
right?
always, he said there'd be nobody retreat past my machine gun. Because they told us there'd be no retreat. Corregidor is small. Where you don't retreat to.
Right.
No retreat. Stay right there. So, when it come daylight, white flags there, where I swam after the tugboat. Got on that tugboat, and I was going to wait till the tide come in, because the Navy guy done told me if they'd ever come to that, that's what he's going to try to do. And I got separated from him. But he done told me about that tide when it comes in Manila Bay from the South China Sea, just like a river coming in on both sides of the Corregidor and into a big 30-mile bay across there. That water comes in fast. I kept throwing things in the water, and then finally threw an old straw hat in there when the natives left when they abandoned their tugboat. But the American flag's still waving on back that tugboat. Japanese, he'd come down the east trade, and they'd fire around over the bow. I don't know why they shooting this thing out. Back there and took the American flag, and I folded it up and I laid on the boat. They quit shooting. But I didn't have a white flag.
Yeah.
They took their lifeboat and they left a little homemade skiff on there. And I got that thing and pushed it out in the water. When the tide started coming in, I got in it and I got what they call a swally, you know, they got a mat. Every native shack got a little mat that rolls up the corner, and that's what they sleep on.
Mm-hmm.
Because they got slats for ventilation.
Yeah.
Let swally done. I laid that, I got in and I covered myself up with that water to keep out. Just looked like a flat. And blending in with the wood and the boat.
Right.
It wasn't, it just a little skiff, homemade. They come down, they look at it over, and they go on. And then I finally passed out. It got full of water. And then the sea got real calm. Next morning I heard roosters crowing. Corregidor, I couldn't see it, you know, that's 12 miles limit. And I'm way back up in that 30-mile bay. I'm way up there next to Cavite, Navy Yard. And I could see them Filipinos on the bank looked like little brown crickets. They kept doing like that, and I thought they meant me to go back. I got out of that boat and started swimming. It's full of water. And I was swimming, you know, and I was tired, and I was swimming. They do like that. And they meant me to stand down. I started treading water, my feet hit the bottom. When they done like that, I thought they meant me to go back. And
What did they mean?
they meant me to stand down
Oh, yeah,
touch the
that
bottom.
you could touch the bottom.
Yeah.
Huh.
And closer than I got to them, the way they started waiting out there to meet me, and dragging me in. I'd been in there since the day before about noon, and that was the next morning. They dragged me in there and fed me. Of course, stripped me off nude right in front of the girls and all. Give me some dry breeches.
Yeah.
Kind of embarrassment.
Yeah.
And then they had a straw stack out there, where they'd hard to ride, and they saved that straw. One thing there, and they dug a hole in that darn straw, put me in there, and laid some bamboo flat, and then covered that back up, and I like to burn up. I had to come out there.
Oh, boy.
It does me a whole while to breathe and look out. And they said, hey, Japanese. I looked out there with one up the beach, and this rifle, and I followed on. I said, I can't stay here. Well, that night they took me way, we walked way, and I guess 20 miles. They call kilometer, and I didn't know what a kilometer was. No. Anyway, we walked my 4 feet. I toe in grass, it comes up a little sharp spurs. And I just tiptoeing along. They tell me I better come on. And I was told it hurt my feet. They said, well, you got to slide your feet. See, when you push your foot down, you slide it. Bend them things over. I finally learned how to walk. But before I did, my feet were sure enough sore. And we made it up there. Yeah, the doctor took pictures of my feet down there in New Guinea Army Hospital. They said, I've got to have a picture of their feet.
Is that right?
They was at least a 1/4 inch thick, the hide. And thorns broke off in there, and little black knobs looked like, he said it looked like pepper. Had been peppered. And he said he won't picture my feet. Save,
Were you able to get any mail back, any letters home to your mother?
No.
She never got anything?
No, all the mail she got was what that other prisoner wrote,
Yeah.
So she'd know it from me that I was there. It's a Red Cross forum card.
Yeah.
And said, well, I'm doing okay. And she signed Bud to it. Well, that had them so confused because she'd done drawn my insurance.
Mm-hmm.
And that had them wondering. I said, Bud. They call me Buddy, Bud. So she'd sign that on. I told her that way Japanese couldn't decode it.
It said, did you ever wonder what you were doing in the service and why you were over there?
Did they ask me or what?
They're saying, did you ever wonder about it? Why am I here and what am I doing here? What?
No, I thought, I'll tell you honestly, and when I was liberated, General Ackerberger was his 1st Cavalry, 11th Airborne. When he said, what do you want? I said, I want to be assigned the outfit, on uniform, and a modern weapon. And I want to go in Manila. Get some more dance. Yeah. Well, it's probably later in there. I just never do read this stuff. Anyway, he put his arm around me and he said, go on and get something to eat. General's mess. I told the sergeant, I said, where you get? He said, hey, so you can't do that? I said, well, he told me to. So General come over. It's North Carolina. Big man.
Hell yeah, you're feeding, man. Yeah.
Yeah. Hell yeah, okay. I bugged out, pigged out on that cheese. And some fruit he had there, and then right up it come. It's too rich. Wouldn't stay down. And he said, I told him what I wanted. He said, you're going back where the good stuff is. You're going home.
Right.
And they said, I thought, well, I'd have to stay. We had no idea, Welcome got airborne, looked down and seen all the ships anchored. Those little harbors and around those bays, and all the airplanes sitting on those strips. I said, they don't need me. Then I really did want to get home.
Yeah, I bet that's the truth.
Yeah.
What did you plan to do with the war when the war was over? Did you end up doing it?
Well, I come home, went to UT and took that GED test. That took 8 to 12 hours, and I come out there shaking all over. And the man in charge of the veterans used to be High Sheriff, what was his name? Carroll Kate?
Yeah, we had Kate.
All right.
Kate.
And he was the main man on the veterans fires and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, I took that test and come back over and report to him. He said, now you can go to UT. And I said, no, I ain't. I'm going to work. So we passed the test. I said, yeah, look here. I said, it'll be better off right where I went. I was working before I went to Army. And forget it. And right back in the same old grind, you know. And worked, and I did. And it took me, it took several months for when the freight train come through the little town. I would jump out of bed and kick the walls down.
No.
Tear the drapes off the wall, be sitting in the window ready to run. So I kicked, and that boy was in there for a go. He come in the other end, and well, I've hurt my ankle somewhere. He used to live next door right here. And he had one of them nightmares, and he'd kick the wall like he broke his darn foot.
Is that right?
Yeah. He lived by himself. I sleep in that end, he sleeps in this end. Because I'm just liable to start slaying or kicking.
To this day.
Yeah. It comes in cycles. You have flashbacks.
Yeah. Yeah. Right.
And not every
Lord,
not too often.
what you've been through, no
You
wonder.
don't have too often.
What did you think about the guys over here at draft age that weren't in the service?
We didn't hear nothing about it. We didn't think nothing about it. When they went to Canada, I kind of felt bad about them boys doing that.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, I don't know. They didn't want to win in Vietnam. What I read and heard.
I'm talking about
over
World War II. You probably didn't know it, but there were quite a few that were draft age here in this country that never got, 4F
I
and
used
all
to
that
fish
kind of
with
stuff.
him.
Yeah.
And he apologized. He said, I'm sorry. I didn't have to go.
Mm-hmm.
I said, I'm glad you didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I never held it against them.
Well, here's the way. Now, somebody had to work.
That's right, yeah.
And she worked in a factory. And when the troop training done good, they just shut down and go to winter, wave at the soldiers.
Mm-hmm.
And some of them cried, some wasn't, and so forth.
How'd the war change you?
Well, I appreciate this country, and I always vote. I went down and voted yesterday. Man supposed to vote, I think, and do his duties. And I know we got some good politicians.
Yeah.
And I don't like the way they do with the money. I don't like them giving the money away. Now they're going down there, going to give them $3 million or $300 million and $200 million to this, and so they're going to squander the money.
Yeah.
Philippines done squandered. They squandered.
Oh yeah.
And they'll fight each other from now on. Everybody wants to be the boss.
Mm-hmm.
And guerrilla warfare. You had this faction over here, Major Yoder and the rest of here. Now he was our leader, you know. He was started. We made him major, make him feel good. He had 400 men.
Yeah.
Me and Herbert Ward, he was an American that escaped with me.
Yeah.
Ex-Navy man, none of good. He's about your size. And we'd tell these guys, you ought to be upgraded. Make him corporal and this and sergeant and that's major. Well, then over here he'd have another group, another part of the same province. He had his group. You get on their territory, they start shooting at each other. And we had time of keeping them separated, you know.
Well, they're pretty good fighters when it came to fighting the Japs.
But number one.
Is that right?
It was. It was good.
They didn't like them any better than we did.
No, they sure didn't. And you know, I was so frail and I had malaria and so skinny and frail, they wouldn't let me. I didn't want to go. When they attacked the Jap garrison there in Binyang Laguna, I wouldn't go with them. They said, nah, they wouldn't let me go. Now, her boy, the big man, he went, because I just weighed 85 pounds. He lost a whole lot. He still weighed 130. And I normally weighed 170. He normally weighed 180 or 90. And he weighed 130, and I weighed 145, supposed to, and I weighed 80 pounds, and I got back. And they had that malaria too, and they wouldn't let me go. But now they went, and some of them got killed. Yeah, they brave. Matapong, that's what they call brave, Matapong.
What do you remember most about coming home?
Well, the people was good to me everywhere I went. Wouldn't take money, go to the barber shop, wouldn't charge me, go to the restaurant, wouldn't charge me. Briscoe all the way home, same way. Briscoe, same way. Your money wouldn't spend.
Yeah, I remember that real well. And how had things changed when you got back after being gone 4 years?
Well, a little old community of mine down there is the same. A lot of boys didn't come home, never will, but people was patriotic. Everybody come see me and greet me, you know, and good to me. Other than some of my buddies that didn't go, they come around apologizing. Now, some of them was good craft, and some of them was welders, and some of it was essential workers. And I didn't call them draft dodgers. But now we know this one guy did pull some strings, because he didn't want to go, and we still fished with him, never missed him, and we didn't miss him.
What could we have done better during the war? And I guess there's a lot of things we could have done better.
Well, they could cut out a lot of waste, because I guess they wasted as much as they used. For instance, coming back, when I'd, fly, what was that little two-motor plane to haul 18 litters, and I had to help load them litters in order to catch me a ride. I had orders to come back by ship, the Navy, and I was down to this little airstrip, talked to some of them flyboys, and they said, heck, help us load these litters. And them nurses give them a loot, because they'd help us load these litters. You stand up front, and put these mail bags on, and you just get up front where we won't be able to load them, and we'll give you a ride.
C-47, I guess. Twin engine?
Yeah, twin engine.
But they use more of those than anything else.
Yeah. Well, it wasn't a C-46.
Yeah, 46 was a lot bigger than the 47.
Oh, well, the smallest one.
That's 47.
It hauled 18 litters.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
And then got on down to Mindoro, and they got bigger, and then got New Guinea, heard big four-motor job. See what, 154s, I believe it was?
Yeah,
great big.
Yeah.
Got down there, and I thought, them old boys, it's 6 pilots assigned to a tent, and there's 2 gone all the time on missions before there, so they had extra beds. Said, you boys sleep here with us. And they'd rigged them up a cooler out there, and they picked 5-gallon drums some way, they'd got some free on. They made a cooler. They fly down the old stream, they get their bottles and hanging there on the string, you know, with a number on it, 2 for a nail.
Yeah.
They go out there and get a little wine or a little whatever, vodka, whiskey. And I was kind of liking that there a little bit, you know, wasn't used to it. And, well, I got ready to come home. They said they got hold of some colonel. Well, I had to be interviewed by CIA man. I mean, through the whole meal before I come home.
About the whole thing?
Yeah, they had the radio working and verified I was an American citizen and everything. They didn't have no dog tag.
Yeah.
And they verified everything and said, okay, you're cleared to go home. Got down to the airstrip, and there were 4 Japanese sitting there with a head down. I looked over and I said, what them dudes doing here? I said, we captured them, they're Japanese officers. Oh, when I started kicking in the gut, well, he knocked me down. She said, "You can't do that." I said, "They're prisoners." I said, "Well, they treated me worse than that."
Yeah.
Where you been? I told her. They done give me some clothes, uniform.
Yeah.
And I said, "They treated me worse than that. I just got a friend came and been in prison, Eddlemon." Oh, well, they called him in. Here come man Jeep. He's a colonel. He said, we'll scratch you. We can't take him Jeff on the same plane as this guy. So they'd take him, put them on another plane. I said, if I'd waited till we got airborne, I guess we'd tore out our plane. I'd probably been in jail. Court martial.
So they let you stay on, took them off,
Yeah.
right?
And they had two pregnant nurses, one pregnant whack on her, and she cried all the way home to Frisco. We stopped on any we talk or with a little toll to gas up, just to watch
Yeah.
it. And then Hawaii, and then you got to shave and take a shower, and then come on to Frisco. They didn't let you stay nowhere long. They kept you right on there to
Right.
get you on to the hospital.
Right.
And that little girl, she's bawling all the way.
What was she crying about?
She's pregnant, wasn't married,
Yeah.
a young woman. And I said, "Honey, when you get to Frisco," I said, "get you one of them stateside soldiers and lock arms with him and go out to dinner and get you a drink. And you get pregnant with him." And I seen him going down the street. I don't know what he made. I guess he made it legal. I don't know. I don't know whether that's good advice or not.
Well, I'd say that's
I guess it worked.
probably as good as any, I'd say.
Probably worked. One of my buddies now, he went to Europe. He stayed 3 years. He come home, his wife pregnant. Well, he threw a fit, he got drunk. He drove a beer tavern. He got a divorce. And yeah, he hadn't been home, but she was pregnant.
Oh boy,
That happened quite.
yeah, that
You might
happened
not
more than
want that on tape.
you'd ever borrow your pen there a minute. Fill this thing out, will you?
See if it writes good. I don't know.
Okay. When did you get married after you got back from overseas?
Yes, sir. They married 36 years, I believe.
How old were you when you got married, Jimmy?
Let's see, I was 25, I believe.
How long was that after you got back?
Well, that was even before I got discharged from the hospital.
Was it early? Tell me about being in the hospital. Was it out there in San Francisco?
Well, I was there at Eddlemon General for a while when the two Jenkins girls were there. And then they sent me to Iceville. That's Swananoa War General, wasn't it? Iceville.
I don't know what the name. I know where that place is. I've been to it over.
War General Hospital. Up at Iceville. And they was good to us there. Fed us. Anyway, you want special diet. Wouldn't let us leave. Wouldn't discharge till we gained. Well, they told me they wouldn't let me leave Frisco till I gained 30 pounds.
Is that right?
Yes, sir. I wouldn't come round home. They said, not till we put some weight on you. Said, they're not going to see you in this condition.
So they didn't let you come home at all?
Not
go back or anything?
Not till they put some weight on me.
You born in Knoxville?
No, I was born in Oklahoma City, 1920, Osage County.
Oklahoma City.
You're right next to Indian Reservation.
Dad was born out in Oklahoma and Indian Territory. Where's the state out there?
Was it?
1920, what was the month and the day? You know?
June the 15th.
June 15th.
I'll be 70 in June.
You're older than I am. I was born in August 21.